Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Meaningful Marketer Podcast. I'm Mia, and this is Grace. And every single week, we have cozy marketing chats all about how we can make marketing more bite sized and doable so we can actually show up consistently and do it and train our brains to realize that bite sized steps, that intentional, impactful simplicity can all be just as effective as hustle culture. We
Yep.
believe it can be more effective
More
than
so.
hustle culture because with hustle culture, you have the burnout and then the consistency fails. So that is what we talk about on here. And today we are going to be breaking down why two posts we've seen recently that we really liked have done really well and how you can take those same concepts and use them for your own content. Now, we always like to start these with this is not for you to copycat. Okay.
Yeah.
This is for you to put your own magic spin to it. Our
Mhm.
motto is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just need to customize it to your vehicle.
Yeah.
So you don't need to copycat it, but you can take concepts, you can take methods that they
Yep.
used in this content, and then you can do your own magic spin to it.
Yeah.
So let's dive right in. We have a reel and we have a carousel. I forgot the name of it for a minute there. We have a carousel today as well. So we're going to go over the reel first, let you see it for just a second, and we're going to talk about it. One, the first thing I want to say about this video is that this is all B-roll.
Yep.
So often we have people ask us, well, what do you mean when you say B-roll? Okay,
Right.
but like, what do I take it of? What do I do? She obviously meal preps and she has just set up her camera when she's unpacking her groceries, when she is cooking her stuff, and she has turned this into a video with all of those clips. But the beauty of it is, and I bet you she does, she can use these clips for so many
Over
different
and
things
over again.
over and over and over again. Like she has so much good content in this. This could have literally been a video that she created from a bunch of old B-roll content that she
For
has.
sure.
Like it could be something that she didn't even have to make new content for. I don't know that for sure, but I'm just saying it very well could be because this is just all B-roll content. And if you want a closer look at this post and the other post, we are linking all of them in the description of the YouTube video, in the caption, all that good stuff. So you can actually go look at them. And while you're at it, show the creator some love because they deserve it. They've done a good job, and show them a little bit of love if you have a little bit of time to. So another thing I want to talk about with B-roll content, and just add on to that before we move on to another thing about this. We just overcomplicate it. Okay. Like you will learn how to get better angles and stuff over time. Yes, good lighting helps. It would not be near as enjoyable to watch this video. Hopefully it's enjoyable somewhat, in some way, but like it would not be near as enjoyable to watch this video if I was sitting in a dark room where you couldn't see my face and I was like Darth Vader in the background.
Yeah.
So yeah, that stuff does matter, but you will learn those things over time. We overcomplicate it. I overcomplicate it. And we literally teach people and talk to
Yeah.
people about
Same.
making B-roll content all the time. But it just is where you are taking content of something you already do, can be one thing, and you just set your camera up. One thing I always remind people is there is a reason video editing software exists. So many times people are too afraid to prop their camera up or take a talking video because they forget that, oh, I can just edit this afterwards. That is why video editing software exists.
Yeah.
So it does not need to be perfect when you are filming it. And guess what? When you edit it, you're going to notice things. You're going to be like, oh, if I would have put the light here, it might have looked a little better.
Yep.
If I would have positioned it this way or done this, it probably would have been a little better. That is how you get better at both editing and
Content
at
creation.
making B-roll content. And you don't have to do complicated edits. That's another thing. If you can learn, teach yourself how to split a video. I mean, other than that, mute it, control the volume on it, trim it a little bit, maybe remove the background if you have a type of thing that can do that, and add an overlay to it. But really, if you can just teach yourself to be able to split a video, just cut it or trim it, you're in good shape. That's really all you need to know for video editing. So yes, there's so many different things you can do. There's so many templates. There's so many things that are tempting everyone to go do all of this stuff. You don't need to. Okay.
Nope.
So I just want to say that too. Once you get to the editing portion with the B-roll, just learn how to split it in a good place. You're good. Literally all this person did to edit this, let me get back to it, is she split it. And she just split it in very quick places. So it's only like probably 0.8 to a second each clip. That's literally all she did.
It's so
Other
much
than that,
easier.
she added on this part of it, she added an overlay. Again, really easy. She did a voiceover. That might be another thing you learn. Those are all very simple things to do in something like
Well,
CapCut, InShot, whatever. There's things
yeah.
going on with CapCut and privacy
Oh,
things. Make sure to read all
annoying.
that and make sure it's something you're comfortable with. But there are video editing softwares that make that so easy now, and you don't need to know all the other things that go.
Yeah. Well, we talk to clients a lot too that just don't realize how easy it can be to simply edit a video. And I think, even if you don't have any fresh B roll, if you have videos on your camera roll of you out and about doing things from 2 years ago, even, like you
Hmm.
can probably make do with something that's in your camera roll right now and turn out a like reel with a good hook on it that could perform really well for you. Or like if you I don't know, just other content that you've already taken. Like sometimes I'll take clips of Mia and I doing one of these and put a hook on it
Hmm.
and post it to our feed. Like it doesn't have to be a huge production of like, okay, let me make sure my lighting is perfect and my phone is propped in the right place. Let me make sure I know exactly how I'm going to walk in and leave the frame. Like it can be you petting your dog. Like it really can
Yeah.
be simple. It's less about the content of what's in the video and more about how clippy you edit it because you're trying to hook somebody's eye.
Yeah.
So
How either like editing it where it's constantly moving, or in the very beginning of the video, you're doing something that I always tell
yeah.
people, maybe in the beginning of the video, you're doing something not, it doesn't have to be life changing. It just has to be where someone might go, "What's that? What
Yeah.
are they doing?" You know, and that's why you'll see people sometimes do something a little strange, maybe in the beginning, or like they'll have their mic hooked in a weird spot. So people will go, "Is their mic really, hooked to their lip?" Or like whatever they're doing. But yeah, so when it comes to B roll, though, like simple lighting, we tell people you have all the lighting you need, really. Yes, it is helpful to have other lighting, and you can get very inexpensive lighting. Do it in front of the window, like where the window is facing what you are filming. That is a great habit. You need a tripod, prop it up against something on the table. Like, you really have everything you need to create content, probably at the end of the day. And yeah, with the B roll, just like putting it up while you're already doing something, or if you do staged B roll, you can do it, while you're on the computer, petting your dog, doing an
Yep.
outfit check. That's a little more staged, but it's still considered B roll. It's something you could use anywhere. You're not like producing it in any specific way. You're not doing it in a way that you are telling a big story, or like curating it in a talking video or
Hmm.
anything like that.
Yeah.
But in the end, you can end up using those clips to tell a bigger story, or clip them together, whatever you need to do, which again can be really simple. But the other thing that she does on there is a voiceover. And we love a voiceover
We
because
do.
if you are someone who doesn't feel comfortable showing up on camera, a voiceover is great because you can just film all the content, and then again in a app like Edits, CapCut, whatever you feel comfortable using, you can then add the voiceover
Hmm.
afterwards. They make it really simple. You might have to do a couple takes. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll get better at it as you go.
Yeah.
So a voiceover though is great for that, or it's great for when you want to make the content feel a little more personal and like you're talking to someone, but all you have is B-roll and you don't want to film a talking video, or you feel it would be more engaging as showing what you're actually doing and then you're talking over it. Great for that. So yes,
It's
utilize
almost like
voiceovers when you can.
if you're doing a voiceover too, I almost feel like it's easier to take the content in the first place because you don't have to,
Yes.
yeah, do a bunch of takes and know exactly what you're going to say. I feel like it takes some of that pressure off of you. And also, fun tip, I feel like you don't need a tiny mic to make content or do voiceovers. Okay, you don't. But if you have one like us, you might get obsessed with it. And I've heard this
Yes.
feedback from a few different clients who were like, "Oh my gosh, I really hated making content until I got the mini mic for some reason. Now I'm just
Yeah.
like addicted to doing it." I've heard more than one person say that. So, if you need to spice it up and they're not expensive at all. You can get one off of
Yeah.
Amazon. And if that makes it more fun to you to record audio for your content, then treat yourself.
Yeah. Some people turn into an animal when they get a
Oh, yeah,
mini mic in their hands. They're just like, wow, what did this do to me? I feel like I'm at the Grammys giving a speech or
exactly.
something. And I just, yeah, like,
You go from content creator to like news reporter so fast. And you're like, you know
yeah,
what?
yeah,
This is my new
they
thing.
can be helpful. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely a great tip. Lastly, on this video, another great thing is we talked some about this, but just editing it very choppy.
Yeah. The
Hold on,
quicker
let
the
me get my
clips,
opinion.
usually the better, at least with how things are trending right now.
Yes, if you can keep something moving, like every little bit, it just holds people's attention more. So you can see it's moving quickly. Another thing is if you're having some kind of intro, keep the intro 3 seconds or less. I usually try to do 2 seconds or less so it moves to the next frame quickly. But there's a lot of movement in this. And that is another reason why people have stuck around and it's done quite well. And then we have a little quick carousel for you. This is a great, simple post idea to share a little more vulnerably. And for those of you who are picture lovers, and we have so many people who are like, can I just take a picture? Do I have to show up as a video? This is the way, if you want to connect with people through pictures, these are the kind of ways to do it. And it is just a carousel that says, can I tell you a quick story? It starts with the story. And then on each one, it goes a little more into the story. So you can tell they're not putting a ton of text on each slide.
Mhm.
So you're going through the story as you are going through it. Whenever you have a hook, I believe, like, can I tell you a story? Here's how I did this and this. This happened to me, and then I did this. You are inviting people into a vulnerable place, and that is going to get people's attention a little bit. Ooh, can I share a story with you? This sounds like it's going to be a little vulnerable. This sounds like something that I might be interested to see how they're struggling or what happened to them. That's going to pique interest. So invite people in when you have a hook, yeah, letting them know, like somehow in that hook, in the vibe of that hook, this is going to be a little vulnerable. I'm sharing something with you that, not everyone might share with you, but I trust to share this with you. And it's a great way to connect with people through your hook. Now, with this particular carousel, they have different photos on each slide. You could also do this with the same photo over and over.
It's
We've
true.
seen so
I've seen
many
it.
people do this, and that's something that has done well for a lot of people. The text is really the star of the show. So if you're stressed about using a photo, the same photo throughout, or if you're stressed about using, a photo twice within the carousel or something, like don't be, that's not going to be a big deal. The text is also nothing fancy. This is something they probably added just right within Instagram or on Canva. It's nothing that you need to know how to design something,
No, that's
beautiful to do.
so funny you read my mind. That's what I was just gonna say. From a design perspective, now's not really the time to have, like, a branded carousel. There's a time and a
It
place
is.
for that, but don't worry, don't stress about the fonts and colors and everything. Like, what we're seeing trend is, like, a white block with black text on it, very legible. Don't go crazy with fonts, like, just keep it so simple. You want it to look like you created it in the Instagram Stories editor
Yeah.
or whatever. That feels like, "Oh my gosh, this came from the heart. They created this quickly. They threw this up." I think
Yeah.
there's something to that. So don't over design it. This really should be a very quick carousel post to make. And I kind of feel like posts like these were like the star of 2025. For a lot of
Yeah.
clients, what our most successful posts ended up being was this style, at least for carousels. So if you've never done one like this,
Agreed.
you should try it. And if it works for you, do it periodically.
Yeah, totally agree. And like Grace said, yes, there is a time and a place to have a beautiful branded, carousel. Like just giving a nod and a moment to the beautiful things, the things that are more curated. There is a time and a place for that, even on your feed, but
Sure,
not every
sure.
single post is for that. And a lot of the time, because, we talk about social media is to connect, it's to be social, it is not necessarily to sell.
Yes.
And there are so many places because I know so many people who are like, well, I spent hours on this video or on this carousel because I wanted it to look branded. And that's what I've always heard I need to do. And, all these things, but I just don't know how, I don't know what I'm doing. And I can't keep this up every time I need to make a post. You don't need to because these can connect with people just as much. And then save those really branded things that are sharing the vibe of your brand. Save them for a special post a couple times a month. Save them for your website. Save them for the little corners that are like you and just fully your brand. Save it for the real cover photos. And so save those really curated things if that is something that just lights you up. Save that for special times,
Agreed.
but there is a time and a place. The beauty of this is like me and Grace were saying, you don't need to know how to design something really pretty. So if you're someone who's struggling with that and that's sucking up a lot of your time, so you're not showing up consistently to post, you don't need to. Literally just do this. Like Grace said, a block with the black text, or this is just white text because she had, a darker background on there and the text still popped out. Just make sure that the text is legible and
Legible.
really like out there and easy to read so people don't struggle to see it,
Yes. And
obviously.
do a paragraph or less on each slide. Don't be afraid to
Yes.
have a ton of slides. You want to engage them in your story and have that be what keeps them scrolling. But yeah, you don't have to put an essay on one tile
No,
either.
because that's going to feel, yeah. It's just like
Yeah,
when Grace has said before, about writing an email, breaking it up into
break
paragraphs
it
or
up.
whatever, because nobody
Less is
wants to
more.
look at
It's
something that
just
long.
Right. Well, it's the same concept as like hooking somebody in a reel, right? You want it to be
Mhm.
something that they can read quickly and then they're hooked. You don't want it to be a big block of intimidating text where they're like, I don't have time to read that right now. So, yeah,
Yeah.
you can have as many slides as you want. And once you've built one, you probably are going to have a template to build it the next time. This is just such a
Yeah.
good,
Keep it.
easy, quick post that's going to probably perform better than you think it's going to. And it should be the least amount of time invested, honestly.
Yeah. And it's sharing about you. It's going to build trust.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing. As a business owner, we forget that we don't just need people to trust that our product does what it says it's going to do. We need people to trust us as a human being, as a person to buy from us. So things like this, like, can I tell you a quick story? Can I give you a peek into who I am, into behind the curtain? Those things are building trust. You may look at this post and go, oh, well, how in the world is that going to sell anything? It is indirectly going to help your sales. It may not be where people are buying something in the comments of this post or whatever, but it is going to help your sales to be vulnerable and to show up authentically, because that is going to build trust,
It is.
especially sharing your story. Now, another thing I want to say about carousels, add music to your carousels.
Yes. Good
Please
point.
add music, because if you are not adding music, you are missing the opportunity for that carousel to show up in the Reels feed. So you are missing a huge opportunity for more exposure on this carousel. Carousels these days can do just as good as Reels. People a lot of the time are still hung up on, oh, videos, 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 carousels, carousels, carousels.
Yeah.
Like on TikTok, even we've had clients that have gotten a million views on a carousel on TikTok.
Yeah.
So do not dismiss the power of carousels. Some people I know, they literally hardly ever post reels, and mostly what they post is carousels because
Yeah.
they just do well for them. So
Well,
make sure though you are putting music on them, because
and
that is going to
that's
help.
something that a lot of people don't realize is it's not just like a choice to put music on it. It is showing up somewhere different on the app and
Yeah.
it can give you more exposure. So make sure you're adding it just from like a strategy standpoint. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have one that went up and you're like, I should have added music to that, you can add music at least on
Yes.
Instagram. On TikTok, you can't. But on Instagram, you can actually add music after the
Yeah.
fact, which is really nice. And we love that.
Love that.
Because, yeah, for all the forgetful people and also for all the times that Instagram glitches and won't add your music to it.
I'm so
Because
glad they
that has
fixed that.
happened.
That was a long time coming.
So annoying. But anyways, so those are a couple posts that have done really well. One of them got 9,700 likes and one of them got 3,400 likes. I'd say if anyone watching this got a post that performed that well, they're probably going to be pretty happy. So yeah, these are, maybe not mega viral, but that's another thing we like to talk about here is not everything needs to be or should be going mega viral. A lot of the time that ends up not equaling sales, connection, followers. We know, we've learned from experience with us clients, and sometimes it does, but a lot of the time it doesn't. Your goal should be getting consistent, engaging posts that are connecting with your community, whatever that looks like for you. And yes, there's always going to be room for growth, but whether that for you looks like 100 likes or 10,000 likes or 3,000 likes. But these posts are obviously ones that have connected with these people's communities. And because of that, that has helped them build trust, sell products, courses, like whatever they are doing, and build a community that trusts them online, which is, huge for business owners. And it's so much more important to do that than just to post pictures of your products all the time. There's nothing wrong with a little product picture here and there, or video here and
Right.
there, but we need to be connecting with our people and prioritizing that above
Yeah.
everything else. So take those points, go see how you can use them on your own content in your own unique, magic way. And yeah, stay tuned every week. We release one of these, and stay tuned because we have a class coming this year that is going to help with things like this and so much more for you to show up consistent and confident in 2026 and beyond and grow a business that you feel good about on socials.
Yay.
And let us know if there's anything else you want to hear about. But we will talk to you soon.
We're
Bye,
behind you.
y'all.